Good afternoon, mums and dads. Mrs. Glendinning here, and I'm here this afternoon to talk you through our Spotlight. I will be sending the Spotlight home via Seesaw for you to have a little bit of a read through, but I just thought I would take the opportunity to chat you through some of the things that we're working on in class. So our curriculum at the moment is really looking at literacy, numeracy and health and well-being, but as part of that we're also looking at our context, and I'll talk you through that just shortly. So our literacy at the moment is focusing on our Read Write Inc. We're looking at our initial set 1 sounds, and we have been sending an awful lot of those home via homework. So thank you to you all for working so hard at practicing that correct letter formation. With those initial sounds, they've built up a huge bank of them, and now we have moved on to our Fred talk. That means blending those set 1 sounds together to make words, and lots of children have grasped that really quickly and are moving with that very fast. They really need to be confident in Fred talk and then moving on to using Fred in their head in order to develop their reading skills. In terms of their reading books, because I know a lot of you, I'm sure, are quite anxious to get a reading book home. We'll be looking at sending those home after the October holidays. So lots of children have really done well in their set 1 sounds, and we'll be moving on to our special friends after the October break. And special friends are just when we have 2 sounds that go together to make a new sound. So for example, S and H goes together and it's a special friend called sh. Okay, and then that would make 1 sound. So for example, if you say ship, it would be sh, I, p, sh, I, p, sh, I, p, ship. And that is called Freddy fingers when we use that. Okay, so there's 3 sounds, and then we pinch those 3 sounds out, and when you complete the word, you swipe along the top to say it's finished. You can develop that skill also with magnetic letters, and when the child pushes the magnetic letters up to the top, you're getting the child to point to each magnetic letter as they go and then swipe along to say that they have completed the word. So just keep on practicing that Fred talk skill, which I know that you're all doing at home, which is just super because they're coming and becoming such super little blenders, which is lovely to see. I'm so proud of them. In terms of numeracy, the children are involved in an awful lot of active learning and play-based learning, and it's really to develop their confidence in their number formation and recognition. They're using a lot of sand in the classroom, they're using a lot of Play-Doh, they're using a lot of painting. And as you know, the children have been introduced to the characters of Ten Town, and some of the stories and rhymes that go alongside the characters of Ten Town have really helped the children who are maybe struggling with the correct letter formation. So Fiona 5 and some of the Eric 8s, we're still practicing those because those are quite troublesome for some children. They also have many opportunities to develop their number formation and number recognition outdoors. This week, for example, is outdoor number learning, so we'll be outside making potions and doing some wonderful things out doing very much free play using our numbers to try and consolidate that. In addition to that, we've been learning 2D and 3D shapes, so the children are able to recognise circles, triangles, rectangles and squares, and they are also able to recognise cubes, cuboids, spheres and cones, and they've been doing a lot of work on that, and we're beginning to look at some of the properties of our 3D shapes. Can you sort those 3D shapes into ones that roll and ones that can't roll? And the children work cooperatively with their friends in class to try and sort out a group of shapes into those categories, and they're doing a super job with that. As I mentioned in my video, our context for learning at the moment is our Lighthouse Keeper's Lunch, and we're using that story very much to explore the school's values, which we recently reintroduced, and the children have responded really well to that. They know what kind of things makes Mr. Grinling kind, what kind of things makes Mr. Grinling inclusive, and it's just through that very much story-based learning, they really begin to know the characters on a deeper level and can understand why those values are important for those characters. They've also been making links to health and well-being, looking at the maybe not so healthy snacks that Mr. Grinling has in his lunchbox that Mrs. Grinling is making, and talking about what kind of healthy choices they would make in their lunchbox to have more of a healthy snack. They've also been developing the theme of friendship and the close relationship that Mr. Grinling has with his wife, Mrs. Grinling, and how they show kindness towards each other and what kind of things we can do to show kindness towards each other. And they've also been doing a lot of art through their Lighthouse Keepers Lunch. We made some beautiful lighthouses. We've also been doing some cutting skills, fine motor skills, cutting out our seagulls and our baskets, and looking at technology skills as to how we can assemble those kind of things to make them look creative and make them operate as seagulls and baskets. And we've also been doing a little bit of emergent writing through our Lighthouse Keepers Lunch foundation. This term we've been looking as part of our lockdown reintegration program at the Emotion Works program that is being led Stirling Council wide, and this is really focusing on the 5 cogs that are related to our emotions, and these cogs are the triggers, what kind of things make you have that emotion, the emotion words, so maybe you're feeling tired or bored or angry or stress, and what kind of behaviours are manifested when you're feeling that way. So if you're angry, some of the boys and girls were saying today that your face would be red and your fists would be clenched, and maybe you might have a bit of a funny tummy going on. And what kind of way do you have of de-escalating that? So thinking about your happy place, maybe counting back from 10, maybe doing some of your favourite activities. So today we were talking about how exercise releases happy chemicals in your brain, and if you're feeling any of these kind of emotions, negative emotions, perhaps doing some of these exercises will help you to release some happy chemicals. So we did a quite enthusiastic Joe Wicks workout, which was well received today. Homework, thank you all for accessing Google Classrooms. I'm still learning and it's quite tricky, so thank you all for trying really hard with that. I really appreciate it. Homework goes out via Google Classrooms on a Monday and could be returned by Friday, but if you need the weekend to finish things off, then that's absolutely fine. I have included in your Google Classrooms a virtual jotter. So if you wish to include your homework into your virtual jotter, that would be great, because the thing about Google Classrooms is if you post it onto the stream, then everybody can see it. Unlike Seesaw. Seesaw is, of course, a different forum. So if any reason homework can't be completed, just drop me a wee message, because I know that home life is stressful at times, and homework shouldn't be a cause for stress by any manner or means. So Seesaw is another forum that we use, but that's really for me to post activities that the children have done for you to see. So if we could try and keep the Google Classrooms for the homework and Seesaw for me as a little forum for me to share with you the kind of learning that's taking place at school, that would be great. In addition to that, some parents have been asking me about PE. So we don't have access, of course, to the assembly hall or the gym hall at the moment. So we're very much weather dependent. So we do have a PE slot at the moment, which is a Thursday afternoon, and this takes place outside. At the moment, we're focusing on listening to instructions and following instructions and keeping safe within our spaces. As well as that, the children also access outdoor play on a daily basis. So we are very mindful of getting the children outside as much as possible, and also to engage in as much activity as we possibly can to keep them all healthy. And that really concludes my spotlight for today. I have also attached a PowerPoint, which is just maybe some of the other things that I haven't mentioned that you can look through at your leisure. So thanks once again for listening, and I really appreciate all your help and support this term. It's been great. Okay, thanks. Bye-bye.